first chapter of A Tale for the Time Being introduces us to the character of Now. And at the beginning, we find out that Now is a teen, probably about 16 years old, and she's hanging out in something called an Electric City Cafe. And I mentioned this earlier, but it seems like there's these older waitresses there that are like prostitutes. I don't think that they actually are prostitutes, but they're kind of like them. Anyway, we know that she should be in school, but instead, Now is at this cafe and she's writing in a diary. And like the typical schoolgirl in Japan, she has on her school uniform. So it's like the skirt, the socks pulled up, the shoes, and the little button top, right? And she talks about being in there and she has like this itch on her leg. And so she has to pull her skirt up a little bit and then she's scratching her leg. And while this is happening, she sees this older man a couple tables over watching her. And of course, she like pulls the skirt down really quickly and covers her leg. And at first she's really disgusted, thinking he's kind of like pervy and everything. But then she drifts off into this kind of fantasy where she imagines that he actually leans over and he says something to her, and it's like really poetic. And then they go on a couple of dates, and then they're married and they're drinking wine and having parties and jacuzzis, and she's just like spinning off into this other reality. I thought this was kind of interesting because I've done that where I've simply seen somebody that I didn't even know and developed a whole story about that person. So I kind of connected to this part. I don't think I ever married myself to somebody in a little fantasy like that, but it was fun to read. And the thing that's interesting is that as she's reading the diary, she's writing it to you, but you is somebody, we don't know who that you is that's actually reading the diary. She is speaking to you. So if you are reading this, and you come to find out that she somehow wrote this whole diary and then threw it out into the world for somebody to just find, one single individual. So she's writing this whole thing so that one person will find her diary and read it. And now that you know that, I want to read to you the quote that I selected for this chapter to show you kind of her personality as she writes. And she's talking to this you, trying to figure out who the you is. She's again kind of fantasizing into the future. Are you a male or female or somewhere in between? Is your girlfriend cooking you a yummy dinner? Or are you eating cold Chinese noodles from a box? Are you curled up with your back turned coldly towards your snoring wife? Or are you eagerly waiting for your beautiful lover to finish his bath so you can make passionate love to him? Do you have a cat, and is she sitting on your lap? Does her forehead smell like cedar trees and fresh, sweet air? And that just tells you what a brilliant imagination that she has. And I love that. And then just for the MLA citation, that was 3-4, pages 3-4 for my MLA citation. So the third and fourth page is where I get that quote. Now I want to talk about the conflicts that came up in this chapter. And the first one you kind of already know about. She's sitting in a cafe writing in a diary instead of being in school. She's sitting in a cafe where the waitresses are kind of like prostitutes, which is probably not a great place for a 16-year-old girl to be. She's sitting in this cafe and this weird man is watching her. But the next conflict is the big conflicts, and I don't think I'll find the resolution until I finish the book. But she writes this statement in this first chapter of, I'll never know who you are because I won't be around much longer. And that makes it sound like she's going to commit suicide. So I don't know if that's what it means, but that's my assumption. Now, this first chapter ends, and how it ends is Now starts talking about her great-grandmother, who is a nun. And she's describing her great-grandmother and saying that this whole diary is actually going to be about her great-grandmother's life. She describes her great-grandmother as an anarchist, as a nun. She's 104 years old, and that she's had many lovers, both male and female. And then she kind of closes out the chapter, and it definitely makes me want to read more and find out more about Now, her, and about the grandmother that she's writing about.